If you don't feed into something, it will eventually die. Now, I know that's self-explanatory, but let me try to give it to you how it was gave to me. Physically, we have to eat, right? And if we don't, we will die of starvation. Spiritually, you need to eat, and if you don't, you will die spiritually. The same goes for circumstances and situations in your life. If you do not want to see that thing, stop feeding into it. Stop going back and forth. Stop giving it to your time and your attention, and allow it to die out. Because what you feed, it's going to grow. Just like if you continue to eat physically, you're going to get big. If you continue to feed yourself spiritually, you're going to get strong. So the same goes for circumstances and situations. Starve stuff out. Some things don't need your attention. Some things don't need your mind. Some things don't need your time. Some things don't need your thoughts, because your thoughts are powerful. Your mind is a very powerful tool. So when you start to have to train yourself to stop thinking about certain situations, stop feeling like you have to prove yourself or make your point, because you are giving it the nutrition it needs to grow and become a stronghold over your life. I heard the thought like a young lion. You feed into something, you feel me, while still in baby form. Baby lion, you can kind of do what you want with it, but once it get into that full-blown lion, it's going to attack you. So certain things, we don't realize that we're giving it power by giving it attention and time instead of starving it so it will die. Because if a person cannot get the nutrition, or a thing, I'm not just talking about a person, cannot get the nutrition in the life that it needs to survive, it will eventually die. So when we start to realize that our power is in what we feed into, we'll stop feeding into things that we want to die, but we feel like can't die because we keep feeding it. That's the illusion. So we have to learn how to take control of our mind and stop feeding into things we want to die. Those thoughts, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to make it, or oh my gosh, this don't seem possible. Those fearful thoughts, certain situations in certain circumstances, it's only so long that a thing can die if you're not giving it what it needs to survive. You got to allow things to die by giving it no attention, by giving it no power, by giving it no nutrition that it needs to be able to grow into a thing that can dominate you, that can take over you, but rather allow it to die by starving it. Because it's eventually. This is why it's common sense. And I have realized common sense is actually a gift, because a lot of people don't have it, because certain things are self-explanatory. Because just like I said, what you don't feed will starve. We think physically. But when the person starts saying that to me, it was telling me that, God began to give me revelation on that's with everything. That's with circumstances, situations, with people, with the things that you face. I have given you the dominion, but if you don't know how to use what I have given you, then it's useless. It's useless for you to know that you don't feed will die, but not use it, not only for physical things, but spiritual things, certain circumstances, certain thoughts, certain bad habits. I had seen, well, I got this in my spirit versus flesh course. Whatever you feed the most is going to dominate. So if you're always feeding into your flesh, of course your flesh is going to overrule you. But when you begin to feed into your spirit, no, it don't feel good, but that don't mean it's not working for your good. Become a disciplined person. A disciple is disciplined. Okay, it's the root word in both words. You got to be disciplined and know it is all about a mind battle. When I start realizing this is the mind battle, a lot of things we don't want to do. We are creatures of habit, so we automatically do it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we want to do it. We just got to be able to overcome the battle within. I am more than my body, and I do not need to become a slave to my body, but I need to make my body a slave unto me. When you think about it, getting in a car, what do you look like letting your car drive you around? You drive your car, and the same goes for this body. Our bodies are vehicles. So when you understand, why would I in real life get in a car and let my car drive me instead of me driving my car? Why would you become a slave to your body instead of making your body a slave unto you? So yes, it is self-explanatory, but when we're so carnally minded, we just thinking physically. We don't understand how God is telling us to apply that to our life. The wisdom of applied knowledge. You can have keys, but don't know where the keys, which door the key go to, right? So it's the key become useless. A lot of time the knowledge is useless because we don't know how to apply it to our life.